Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from Leipzig, Germany. You're seeing shots of downtown Leipzig, and I know Wavepunk's going to be super interested about some more facts, so I'll give you some. When I was there and saw that ice rink, that Ferris wheel, that's where that ice rink is. Anyway, really close to it, there's a restaurant that's full of trees. Literally, you're sitting down and there's trees all around you in the restaurant. So if you ever check out downtown Leipzig, check that out. There you go, Wavepunk, take it or leave it. There you see the trophy from the DreamHack Open. All these teams are fighting for, remember, $50,000 on the line as well. This is just day 1 of 3. And we're having some awesome matches here today. And honestly, just a pleasure to see all these matches unfold, guys.
I would rather Leipzig facts than weather facts from Wavepunk. So I'll take them any day of the week, actually.
I got you. We'll go check it out Sunday night as well. Yes. But what a day full of Rocket League. We got 2 matches to go. They're elimination matches, and it doesn't get more important than this. Coming up right now, we have G2 going up against Rogue, and this is a group where Dignitas, of all teams, an organization that wasn't necessarily in Rocket League a month ago, I suppose, picks up this team, and Dignitas defeats Rogue. They defeat G2, Dignitas into tomorrow, which leaves us with an elimination match between G2 and Rogue.
And of course, Rogue, we were hanging out with Sizz yesterday, and he's like, hey, my teammates, both Moses and Insolences, are not coming in until 1:30 p.m. today.
Wow.
The tournament had already began, but luckily they were in Wave B, so they had to play a little bit later, but they just showed up. They got off the plane, and they're like, hey, we got to go play some Rocket League, and now they're here with nothing to lose at this point. Obviously, people are going to expect G2 to win this, but they're here to have some fun. And Sizz has said that this roster is not final. They're just coming out. Like, Moses is a good friend of Sizz. It's like, hey, like, we just wanted to play here. So they're coming out, and there's Insolence as well. He's been extremely quiet during the offseason. Didn't really do much, but this Rogue squad, don't count them out. They took Dignitas to 3 games when Dignitas just 2-0 G2 and easily 2-0 G2. So watch out for Rogue here.
I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. They're kind of out here just to have fun. I mean, Jacob and Sizz, two really eccentric Rocket League people, I think is the best way to put that. And G2 didn't exactly look very good in their game 1. So they either took that and fixed it, or they're going to come out here and I think they might get crushed again.
And they've had time. They've had time to do it. That was, what, 3 hours ago at this point? Maybe somewhere around there, 2 to 3 hours. So they had time to get some scrims in, hopefully, and fix their issues. But it really is on both sides of the field. The offense didn't look great. Like J-Nap said, that 1 great goal, but that's all they had. Literally. And then they were leaving some wide open nets. Their defense wasn't great. We saw Rizzo try and make too many backboard clears that didn't really work out. So G2, the pressure's on them. They were the 2 seed. We have the top 11 seeds. They all qualified for day 2. Except so far for G2, who was the number 2 seed. One of the teams invited here, they are the E-League Cup champions, the most recent live event. Everyone expects to see them on day 2 at least, but now they're fighting for their lives in day number 1.
And again, it's their first time in Europe. We haven't really seen G2 out in Europe, and right now from the 2 games we've seen, there is definitely room for improvement.
But this team across the board, so full of talent. Honestly, both these teams, but G2 in particular, you mentioned it, Gibbs, just their performance at E-League after a pretty decent season of RLCS, but then the season before that, they weren't really much of a factor at all. So the question always becomes, which G2 are we going to see? Can they rise up in this live event setting and really show what they're capable of? And for me, it's super tough because, I'm a fan of both of these teams, and I know there's a lot of fans out there for both of these 2 teams as well. So it's incredibly hard to pick, but it's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. Let's go ahead and roll into predictions, guys. Chiefs, what do you think?
I think G2. I think they've had plenty of time. They've been out here for, what, almost a week now already? So I think they kind of shook off that loss, and they say, okay, fine. Let's go beat these guys and move on to day 2. They could just put that behind them.
So during that 10-minute break, it took you 9 minutes and 30 seconds to decide if it was going to be G2 or Rogue.
It absolutely did.
So it's going to be a close one, and I'm sorry to G2 fans, but I have to pick G2 here. I have to do it. I think they're going to win.
I apologize for supporting your team.
I apologize now, but I think G2 will fix some of their issues. And Rogue, I'm not sold on. They didn't have a great offseason, and 2 players just showed up 2 hours ago. No, it was like 6 hours ago at this point. But still, they have to be tired. And they had to wait all day for this game, so they're probably pretty tired, and I expect that to catch up to them. I have G2 in 3 games. Why not?
Yeah, I have to go with G2 as well. Way too much skill and talent that we saw on full display at the E-League Cup. kind of came out of nowhere to do that, but it was a moment where everyone knew that they had what it takes. And I fully expect G2 to be able to make it to day 2. But I suppose it's up to them at this point, as it usually is. Let's go ahead and invite Wave Punk and Quinn to the conversation. Guys, what are you thinking about this next match?
Okay, so here's the thing about weather facts, Gibbs.
Oh, gosh.
They only happen like once a broadcast, okay? But I'm glad to know that there's a tree restaurant. At least I learned something new this time, so I'm going to pick G2.
I like it.
This is sound logic. I agree with that.
I have to agree with whatever Gibbs said about this. There's no way you're getting off of a flight and then knocking out G2. I mean, it's really kind of hard to decide because G2 looked like they had been on a flight all last game. They were playing like crap. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
All right, we'll see what happens. Another North American team, though, is going to move on to day 2. So any North American fans can take that into solace. But this should be a close one. It's G2 against Rogue. Wave Punk and Quinn, take it away, guys.
Thanks so much. I think that guarantees we will have 6 North American teams, if I'm counting correctly. At least 6 North American, maybe a few more. I haven't been keeping track. I haven't actually been keeping count. So to say I haven't been counting correctly is a misnomer there. But G2 versus Rogue. These are 2 teams we are very new and familiar with. It's been a long day, guys. G2 is the same roster they've been for a long time. Rogue's made a few changes. First time we're going to see Moses playing with them. Will they keep him? Will they not? Roster was not final last time we heard, so who knows what's going to happen.
I think it's going to be really rough for them. I mean, we see Moses, a player who was struggling quite a bit last season, take the place of Matt, one of their star players. And whenever you just have such a drop in quality of performance, it's so hard to carry that over into success on the field. You bring in the things off of the field, like the flight issues and the traveling. It's just going to be an uphill battle all game long here for Rogue.
We'll see. Can they do it, or will G2? We've already seen G2 one time today. Didn't go great for him, going up against Dignitas, who was looking fantastic. So, good moment of redemption here, wanting to make it through to day number 2. I'm excited. They talked about G2 not having much success in Europe before. This is the first time I think we've seen G2 in Europe. The only one of those players who I think has been in Europe for a Rocket League competition at all of this level was Rizzo, Season 2 on Take 3, when iBuyPower, the team Cronovia was on, was not having a good season, and JNaps I don't think was old enough to play yet. So
yeah, JNaps was just a ranked warrior back then.
And that was the tournament that North America had the worst performance at. Rizzo's team actually did the best, coming in 4th, Take 3, and they were the team nobody expected to do well from North America. So that was a lot of fun. So now he gets
also
to come
had
back.
Insult.
It did have what? Yeah, they did have Insult.
Yeah,
it did have Insult.
I can't
That's
believe
right.
nobody's mentioned this. Insolences and Rizzo, former teammates competing against each other. That's going to be very interesting to see. Insolences, known around the community for being kind of a difficult player to play around in terms of play style.
Sure.
Right? A lot of air dribbles and individual play, but when he is just feeling himself, his carries are incredible. But
speaking of incredible, this shot from JNaps midfield, what is this, 120 kilometers per hour. He's in his own half as he crosses to touch the ball there. And he puts that one dead center under the crossbar. Beautiful shot. We have G2 in the orange, Rogue in the blue. As always, the best of 3s here today. Moses looking for Insel. And, they made a roster move, and the problem with the Rogue roster, as far as the caster was concerned, is that you had Sizz, and then you had Insel and Sizz on the same team. And we always abbreviate Insolences down to Insel, and so then you say Insel and Sizz, and it's just Insolences, and if you aren't confused listening to me yet, just know this has just been my life for the last year. I kind of expected maybe the roster shuffle to make that one easier, but nope, they're still on a team together here, and Moses joining up with them. Moses also made the run to Season 2, the Amsterdam.
Moses.
Oh my goodness, that just makes it worse as JNaps puts in another one.
Yeah, another good goal here. Actually, he did right off the first touch. That is what an angle he was able to get on that ball.
Boomers from JNaps. He has not been anywhere near the both goals he's scored so far. Just slamming that net from midfield. Yeah, creative touch there. I'm not sure that was what Cronovia wanted to do. We'll see Sizz move it down the field. Now this one lofted once more, up once again, but couldn't make contact. That was probably a guaranteed score. had he been able to pull it off, and finally the pressure comes through. First Sizz, then Insol, then Moses to finish it off, and we'll see Rogue on the board.
Yeah, Sizz is going to be unhappy he was able to convert that one in, but Moses with a really good follow-up here, a very tight angle with 2 players in the net as well. Those can always be the most difficult to defend. You got both players jumping up at the same time.
Yeah, high scoring game number 1 here. We've just finished the first minute. We've already had 3 goals. Insol moves it over to the side. Then takes the shot towards the net. JKnapp's in net, will be able to get the save. A little bit sloppy, didn't get on his first touch there, but it'll work nonetheless. Good boost steal from Moses. Insol now hesitating, thinking about possibly moving up, but decides to fall back. Wow, JKnapp's a bit of space here. Rizzo in the corner as well. Insol finds the top post here. This one didn't look like it was going into me, but we got a tie ball game.
And he's shaking his head after he scored the shot. He did not expect that to go in. Yeah, off of G2's own player. That one's going to be a little bit unfortunate. I think Insol's definitely counting his luck right there.
Yeah, I did not see. He was just like, cool, I'll take it. Take the tie ball game. And both the shots from Rogue, unlike G2's slammers, have been against the back wall or in the box of G2, having to get very close to that net to make it work, which is how most goals work these days. Unless your name's JKnapp's, apparently. Still remember, JKnapp scored a ridiculous shot from his own corner at E-League, where he just like pinched it off the wall and went the whole distance of the field. The guy can shoot from literally anywhere. A nice loft here to Rizzo. It's going to go away. Kenobi now carrying this one through the air towards the goalie. There's 2 of them. He gets both of them off to the side, but there's no immediate follow-up here from G2. A shot from JKnapp's. Defended again at the double commit. Rizzo's just not quite in the position to make use of this ball, and some hesitation there causes a bit of miscommunication. He's going to actually give Rogue the opportunity to move this one up, and then a completely needless double commit there from G2. But still, they got the ball into the corner, so it worked out for him.
Synchronized pinching. It's the new Olympic sport.
I'd watch it. Sounds interesting to me. Kenobi to try and carry this one off of his own backboard. Insol to try and create pressure, and now Sizz moving up as well. Rizzo with a good touch. Look at this one all the way down. Insol had fallen back, and he will get the save. Otherwise, Rizzo was going to get the 3rd long shot of the game for G2. 2 minutes remaining. The infield pass here. Rizzo looking for the shot. Didn't have the angle. Insol up past 1. Now into the corner. On this back wall where they've been the most dangerous. Lofts into the corner, and Insol again back into the box once more. Rizzo now moving out in the 1. Past 1. Moses in the back here. Also players generally been pretty strong on the defense, and they find Insol up on top, and that shot was so close to good and giving Rogue the lead. It's not going to happen as Rizzo past 1. Kenobi in the corner here. Wrap it around. Insol doesn't make contact. He'll leave it for Sizz. He'll play it back for Kenobi. Expecting the pass. He hangs around in that corner. Lets JKnapp's take another shot. Now Rizzo into the corner. Falling along. A minute left here after an exciting first minute of the game. And then a random pinch from, not totally random, but a decently random play from a corner. We've really slowed down here. Both teams moving back and forth and just playing solid defense, and a few crossbar post hits to help them out. Over the side, 45 seconds left. Still tied up. Anyone's ball game here in game number 1. Moses will set up Sizz. Rizzo with the read. Kenobi now moving in. 2-man offensive pressure. He'll rotate back, allow JKnapp's to move up. And then immediately kind of gets on top of him. Interesting positioning there from Rizzo. Definitely left them open in the back, and Kenobi had to make the fade block. Now Rizzo looking for Kenobi. Can they connect? They get it past the defender, but there's just no shot on net. Now JKnapp's up on the wall. Shot towards net. The 3rd one. It doesn't go in. Insol makes the save up against the crossbar and then grounds himself. Brilliant follow through there to keep this defense strong for Rogue. And it's looking like overtime for the first time, I believe, in game number 1. Is now upon us here, unless we can see something miraculous here from G2 or from Rogue. Nope, not going to happen. Overtime.
It's an absolute stalemate of a match here, but G2 putting so much pressure on Rogue, staying in their half for almost a solid minute and a half straight, but unable to convert that into a goal.
Sizz looking to set up Insol. Able to connect with him. No shot on net just yet. Sizz now Trying to play it through. I believe he got bumped. Now Moses in the middle. Rizzo gets a clear, but just gives it to Sizz in his own corner. He goes for the air carry out. And the shot from Kronovi, nearly on target. Going for the long clear game, just giving ball control back to G2 over and over again. Moses on the goal line will make the save, but Insel able to bail him out, send him back out to midfield here. And the pressure continues. Midfield pressure starting to become the name of the game here for G2. Moses has a save. Kronovi has an opportunity to shoot. Some good bumps in net will help him out too. G2 clinches it.
Just a perfect shot on top of that bump. Not only did that bump clear away the post, but Kronovi's shot also hitting the post and going in. Looked like that was the only way in. I mean, G2, I think, can be very happy the way this game went. It was such a close match for so long, and it really looked like Rogue was getting more and more into it as the match went on further. G2 able to prevent that and just end the game quick.
Yeah, and they started off with those 2 brilliant goals from JNaps. It looked like they had this one clean, and then Rogue settles down, starts to play a real Rocket League, gets some help there in the corner from Rizzo, and then we go into overtime. First overtime we've seen in a game number 1, when it's easy for these players, especially who are used to playing best of 5s, to not take game 1 as seriously. But here in the best of 3s, it's so critical, it's so important. And now, G2, 1 win away from being done for the day.
Right, and this is the point where I think even the desk starts to maybe get a little bit worried about the predictions, although we saw G2 take that win.
I don't think they care. I'm going to be honest, I don't think they care.
I mean, fair enough. Either way, I was trying to say something with
Sure, continue.
I don't think that Rogue is going to sit idly by. It looks like they are improving as time goes on. I think kind of warming up, if you will, for the first time today.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I believe that their flight in was from Europe today. They didn't make the full 11-hour journey from the U.S., I believe. I believe it was just a connecting flight that they were delayed on. So I don't think that they're incredibly jet lagged today. But still,
gotcha.
It's going to be so. It's not fun to show up on the day that you want to compete and be like, okay, cool, you ready to go? Here we go. But game number 2 underway. G2 taking the first one. They can get this second one here. It'll be one and done. Man, we were talking earlier about how much it matters to the U.S. teams because of how far they had to travel. Can you imagine showing up at 1:30 and then at 7:30 that day being done with the 3-day tournament? That would just be so rough for Rogue.
Man.
Yeah, it would be so rough. Got to root for them just for that. G2 here. G2's been over here for a while. They've been boot camping here in Europe to make sure that they got rid of any of those jet lag issues. JNaps in his own corner. Soft touch actually gets it past Insel. The creative backwards pop. Now Rizzo gets it past one and then wins a 50-50. Kronovi airborne. Can find a shot here. Actually just creates the screen. Brilliant play. JNaps, you see him going up behind him. All the attention's on Kronovi, but it's JNaps who makes the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such a good decoy here from Kronovi. He never really had a chance of ever touching that, turning it into a great shot, and JNaps recognizing it, moving off to the side.
Yeah.
What a play there from G2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something so risky as well. Committing all 3 members of your team
It's very important that he scores that goal, because if not, it's literally Rizzo against 3 fully boosted Rogue players. It was going to be rough stuff. And Rizzo's maybe the weakest element of defense on the G2 lineup as well. So very critical there that JNaps be able to finish that one off. Kronovi, nice dunk, just hovering there. Keep this in the corner. Loses it past Insel, gets it back out to midfield. JNaps with the trap. I'll look to put this into the middle. Sizz is there. Plays it off the bounce into the orange corner. Rizzo demoed in his own corner, but Kronovi, an excellent read. Just go airborne, get the block, and then going for the boost starve as well, and gets the setup. Look at this solo plays here from Kronovi. Doing all the dirty work for his team to give JNaps the opportunity to shoot. And he'll take the shot himself here. Man, it had just been so close. Oh, and Rizzo's shot is a bit wide as well. A little bit of inaccuracy here that would have just helped extend the lead for G2. All but clinching this game. And another crossbar. And the save comes through, but finally Sizzle put that one away. We'll have a tie game.
Yeah, fantastic saves, honestly, right here on the goal line, and Sizz able to come in and clean that one up. It's going to be unfortunate for G2. Sometimes it's just not enough. You really need to keep that ball in the corner. I don't think that there was much it could have done there.
I'm not sure that, like, there was a double commit on the save, but I don't think it really would have made much of a difference. Sizz's shot was so fast, and to, like, even just to slow yourself down and position yourself in net in time. Is this one going to go in? No! Insel pinches it off the post. Sizz will try to drop it back into the box. A nice soft touch, but Rizzo's got it. He'll send that one away. We approach halftime, tied up at 1 apiece. We could have 2 overtimes in the same series for the first time today. Let's see how it goes. Probably putting that one out and nearly gets that second touch in a row. It's kind of a confusing sentence. Goes for second touch 2 times.
You know,
pass up. Oh, can JNAP find this? No, not gonna happen.
This Kronovi car looks eerily blue for someone on the red team.
It's a pretty cool looking car.
I wonder if it was intentional.
I'm gonna have to try that shade of red with Heat Wave. I never noticed it does that. It might just be the skybox on this particular map with the gloss of that particular decal. But it's a cool look. JNAP's now down, finds Rizzo. Excellent redirect, well defended by Sizz. With the demolition on the Kronovi as well, opened up a power play opportunity. You know, Kronovi's spawning on defense, and he gets the favorable corner spawn as well. He and Rizzo, JNAP's rather, moving this one out. Rizzo in the midfield, causing a threat. JNAP's nearly had contact on that. 1:43 left to go. It's kind of just it's been anyone's ball game up until the last moment of game number 1. This whole series has just been back and forth between these very, very close teams. And yeah, it felt like everybody, especially on the desk, was like very much saying like, "Oh, G2's got this. Surely they can't lose."
Well, it's important to remember that this Rogue roster is the first time we're seeing this.
Sizz put this one in. Yeah, it's because of how late Sizz, how late Rogue showed up. Like, surely G2 is comfortable and ready to go here, but Rogue is not letting any of the circumstantial problems affect them here, and they're just playing Rocket League, and they've got the lead right now.
Yeah, just doing really great, honestly, midfield play to just kind of neutralize G2. There's a lot of dribbles coming from G2, and Rogue are not really fazed by any of that, and it's so much credit, especially here to Moses. He's new on the team, initially a defensive player, but he had so many issues staying consistent with defense last season, something he's supposed to be his specialty, and it 60 seconds couldn't be leaps and bounds different than what we're seeing right now.
We'll see if they can just hold on to this. A 1-goal lead is nothing. Only good for winning, basically. We'll see Rizzo drop this one down. Rizzo nearly finds that backboard again. And gets a demo in the corner. Great place to get a demo here. But JNAPs will get found there on the edge. Kronovi looking for the second touch. He'll find it more or less as it goes back to midfield. Here comes Rizzo. Moses will get it past him. JNAP's up. Good pressure from G2 here when they need it most. Good pass into the middle as well. Insel and Sizz will follow. Kronovi looked for that second touch there. It wasn't going to happen. Just a little redirect in the air was all you wanted, and we got the final countdown. Just ticking away. Pass down. Nobody's in net. Can Kronovi finish this off and put it in? I think he's got it. Tie game. Too much of a commitment there from Rogue, leaving their net open, and it's tied with 1 second.
You look at the faces of the Rogue players, and they look so defeated as that ball rolled on into the net. With 1 second left, they were almost able to guarantee themselves a game number 3, but now G2 has the opportunity to end it here and keep Rogue winless at DreamHack Open.
First series with 2 overtimes. It's not often that you get that sort of thing in a best-of-3 here. And, oh, is this going to happen off a kickoff? No. They will be able to get back. Most of the pros are pretty good about getting back off a boost if they lose the kickoff that hard. But usually they don't lose the kickoff that hard either. And this one pinching back. It's open net time season as well. Kronovi puts it in. What a... Oh, my. You have to feel for Rogue. The choke was so real there at the end of that game. And G2 say thank you very much, appreciate it, and they move on to day 2.
Yes, such a heartbreaking moment there for Rogue. They fought so valiantly there at the end, but unable to turn that into a win. That overtime there, just biting them there at the end.
Yeah, you gotta hurt. That's not the way you want to go down. But you leave an open net for a team as good as G2. There's nobody on G2 who's going to miss open nets like that. You just give Kronovi the ball, I'll just dribble it down 2 times in a row. You just leave it alone. And you know, it's interesting. I will say I loved that Rogue opted to be aggressive on overtime. So often we see teams just kind of fall back into the real turtle defenses on both sides, and it gets this real stagnant 4-minute kind of thing going on. And they said, no, we're going to go for the double boost grab. We're going to try and be as aggressive as possible right off the bat. Just made some false touches, some touches they didn't want to make.
It happens. Sometimes it happens. Puts it through. Yeah. It's sad that happened at like a moment where they had no more lives left in the bank. You know what I mean? Like they're just ready to go to overtime. And I really think that especially G2 also deserves a little credit for their just vastly contrasting performance in their previous match to this one as well. We talked about Rogue being a little upsetting, giving them credit for being a new team, but G2 as well really turned that match around, doing a lot better job of controlling the game.
I still got to go back to those JNAP's goals. Those just like howitzer shots from so far away.
Come on, JNAP's.
Aerial bombardment. That was fantastic to watch.
Please.
He's absolutely a monster. But guys, it's been a great match here. That'll do it for you and me. I know we got at least one more game, but for now, let's go back to the desk.
Thank you, Wavepunk and Quinn. G2 able to pull it off, and what a heartbreaker in Game 2 there for Rogue. They were up with literally seconds to go, but G2 able to tie it up and score it in overtime. So guys, G2 moves on to tomorrow.
Yeah, they survived day one, but their prize is the group of death. You ready for this group?
Okay, I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready.
All right, Gale Force Esports,
okay.
Fnatic.
They're okay. Oh, they're pretty good.
Team Secret, and G2. Only 2 of those guys can go to the bracket stage. It's going to be a fun group tomorrow to see how that all plays out. Any of those 2 could make it, so it should be a lot of fun to watch.
And it all happened because the dudes pulled off some crazy wins. It's like the dudes would have been in that group had they not won.
And plus Dignitas too.
And Dignitas as well. So it's like
all right,
Gale Force and G2. It's E-League rematch.
Certainly a lot to look forward to. We actually have a member of G2 standing by, none other than Kronovi. Kronovi, welcome to the broadcast. Congrats on your victory right there. First question for you: can you talk about G2 as a team, especially following E-League and leading up to this weekend? How have you guys been feeling, and what were your expectations coming into today?
We've been feeling really good since E-League. We did take a little bit of time off, and I think that's definitely, that rust is showing here. We're a little slow. I mean, JNAPS is always playing well. He had a ton of boomers today, but I think we still have a lot to work on, and this is kind of like still our warm-up. We have a lot better teams to play, and we need to play better to keep going.
All right, Crow, so talking about these better teams, your first matchup tomorrow is against Gale Force Esports. Are we going to get a repeat of the E-League Finals?
I hope we don't get a repeat because I'd rather 3 of them.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
That's totally reasonable. I mean, you guys, the passing game has been a little bit falling flat for you guys here. I mean, what do you think you guys need to really change on defense? Because back at E-League during the group stages, I felt like you guys were having some really good passing plays. And here, do you think you just need to shake off that rust, or is it just something new you're trying?
Yeah, passing has always tried to be our focus. It's just if we don't have the ball, we don't have a set rotation going, or if we can't get boost, then we kind of get stuck in our shell and we don't want to give the ball away to other people. So we need to just get boost control, fix our rotation, and then we'll start passing.
Okay.
All right, there you go. It's Kronovi from G2. Kronovi, congrats on today and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Axel.
That's
all right.
ABCs on how to be good.
Yeah.
Give boost control, get the ball, and pass it. ABC. Easy.
Or you could go with just hit the ball.
Just hit the ball.
Right.
That's the other tip that we got today.
Too.
Just hit the ball.
That's what Tylacto was mentioning in the interview earlier. Definitely remember that one. But let's take a look at the highlights from G2 against Rogue, where G2 just barely able to take down that 2-0 victory, pulling it through in the final seconds in Game 2 and then scoring in overtime.
And JNAPS, he didn't take any time.
Off the bat.
3 seconds, and he's like, if you want G2 offense, it runs through me. And we're going to start with 3 seconds in, but he was a part of almost every goal. We see here the Insole coming up with a big play, the dunk over Rizzo to score. And Rogue, they kept it close in both games, just barely missing out 2 overtimes. But right there, we see JNAPS getting the bump. He might not score that goal, but he bumps the goalie out to force it to happen. So JNAPS was everywhere.
JNAPS really is the man with the plan when you move into G2. But here's a really nice shot from Kronovi. Used all the boost in the tank. That wide open net at 0 seconds. That cannot be allowed.
Clock management, Rogue. Please do not leave the net open with 1 second. There's no point of a goal there.
Disappointment.
Your goal is to waste time, not score a goal. So we saw Sizz. It was a little awkward of a play. He was trying to get the pass out, but
why are you passing the ball
up? No, like that's fine to pass it a bit.
But it's like you can't commit to an offensive play like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the third man definitely can't. Sure, the second man, okay. Like, go for the challenge, but the third man's got to stay back. There's 1 second left.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for Rogue, but they'll be back. It's a great team, and we're going to see a lot more of them in Rocket League Esports. But G2, they're the team right now, advancing on to tomorrow. Sure, it's a tough group, but who knows? Maybe they can pull off some pretty good wins. We'll have to find out. We got one more match left today. What a day of Rocket League it has been. I think 12 matches total. I'm losing count. I don't care because I love it. Coming up next, we got a rematch. It's Juicy Kids versus Excel, your final match of day one of the DreamHack Open. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with that. Stay tuned.